Hello and welcome to this guide about the best late game heroes in Mobile Legends. As a follower of this channel, you'll understand the importance of choosing the right hero in certain situations. This can increase your win rate significantly. Not only do you need to choose heroes that can counter the enemy, but having a mix between strong early game and powerful late game heroes can increase the chance of winning even further. Therefore, I want to share 5 great heroes that will dominate the battlefield when having farmed enough. Let's give a hit on the like button and let's start right away. Okay, so the first late game hero that I want to mention is Aldous. He's a fight hero that's able to get stacks by killing units, which increases the damage of his first kill. Killing minions, jungle monsters, turrets and heroes will all provide him with stacks. The more stacks Aldous has, the more deadly his fist will be. It's quite easy to kill a marksman in only 2 hits when having sufficient stacks. This is why Aldous is such a powerful hero in late game, when he has obtained a big amount of stacks. He can get up to 500 stacks, and like you see in this clip, his damage can be huge when having reached this. If you know how to play this hero and understand how you should position yourself in a team fight, it gets quite easy to deal big amount of damage against the enemy heroes. This makes him one of the 5 best late game heroes of this moment. If you try to aim for at least 25 stacks per minute, you are doing just fine. He can be played at the XP lane or as a jungler. Both of the positions have some advantages and disadvantages. When you play him as a side laner, you've got the chance of being countered. It's not that hard to counter Aldous if the enemies want to. A hero with high range can make it very hard for Aldous to kill the minions to get stacks. But when you match up against a hero that doesn't harass you, it can be easy to obtain stacks from killing minions. It really depends on the hero the enemy chooses to determine the success of Aldous at the XP lane. You can also play him as a jungler, and the big advantage of that is that it gets a lot harder to counter him. When you play him as jungler, you can also make sure you finish every jungle monster with skill 1. However, it often goes a bit slower than getting stacks compared to play him as a side laner and not getting countered. Also, his ultimate makes him a great hero to gank a lane, which is perfect when using Aldous as a jungler. Of course, you also need to know against and with which kind of heroes Aldous is a strong pick. He is a very strong pick if you match up against a few low HP heroes that have bad mobility or no escape skills. This way he can make almost a certain kill after using his ultimate. Therefore, I highly suggest you consider to choose Aldous against heroes like Layla, Cecilian, Veil, Estes and Eudora. He also goes well when having a team that has some useful CC skills. They can slow the enemy heroes so you can fist them to death. Like I told you, he can be a bad pick if you match up against long range heroes, especially when they play against you at the XP lane in the early game. So be careful against heroes like Guinevere, Leslie and Xborg. Overall, Aldous is just a very strong late game hero and is especially powerful if you get 500 stacks early on. Another hero that gets stronger by getting stacks is Cecilian. This mage hero doesn't have a maximum amount of stacks like Aldous does, which make him one of the best late game heroes you can pick. Imagine playing a match of 25 minutes of obtaining stacks and one-hitting any squishy hero. Also, the insane amount of mana enables you to keep spamming skill 1, which will frighten the enemy team. Cecilian doesn't get direct increased damage from his stacks, but every stack will add mana. The damage of all his skills are partly based on the mana he has, so this indirectly increases his damage with every stack he obtains. Not only his skills get stronger by having a big amount of mana, but there is also one item that benefits from a high amount of mana. That, of course, is the Lightning Truncheon. If you want to learn more about all mage items, I've made a complete guide about all items that explain what it does and how you can use it. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to learn more about all items in Mobile Legends. Cecilian is a hero that really has to do nothing except getting stacks and staying safe in early game. This is his true formula to success in late game. You can get extra stacks by using skills against the jungle monsters when the minions haven't arrived yet. Try to aim for 15 to 20 stacks per minute and you will be a true killing machine after 15 minutes. If you want to learn more about this hero, I've made a complete guide about him and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Cecilian is a great late game hero and can get even stronger with or against a certain team. His first skill has a high range and this helps him to stay on a safe distance while dealing damage. Therefore, he is a great pick against heroes that have a short attack range. A few examples are Claude, Hanaby, Beatrix and almost every fighter hero. Cecilian goes best with Carmilla, since this will provide him an extra skill. He also is great with heroes that are able to slow the enemies, so he can hit these skills easily. Cecilian is a great pick if you match up with heroes like Estes, Angela, Lolita and Carrie. Unfortunately, he also has his weaknesses. While he is the hero that's able to deal the highest damage in Mobile Legends, he has no escape skills. This makes him really vulnerable for the very mobile heroes that can come close easily. Be careful against Ling, Fanny, Natalia, Leomord and heroes like those. If you have proper protection and a hero that dominates an early game, I believe Cecilian can be a very strong pick to have a big chance of winning late game. Has this vid helped you so far? If so, please help the video to give it a like. The third hero that is very strong in late game and is a great one to have in your team is Leslie. This marksman has a big range, high damage and is quite mobile too for a marksman, which is a great combination for a late game hero. Another great thing about her is that she doesn't use mana, so you don't have to recall to get your mana back. Just keep on using basic attack and her energy will recover so you can keep casting skills. For this reason, Leslie really needs high attack speed. Unfortunately, I sometimes see Leslie's build with very high damage and low attack speed. It's true that this build will deal insane damage, but it will get you killed very easily since you need sufficient energy to cast your second skill and protect yourself from enemies. Leslie really is a hero that has to get every gold she can get and stay safe in early game. She isn't that strong in the first minutes and she can get killed easily by a ganking jungler. Therefore, I suggest you don't take any risk in early game and just focus on last hitting the minions to get the most amount of gold. I've made a complete guide about Leslie that includes all the tips and tricks you need to master this hero. If you're interested and got some spare time, you know where to find the link. I personally use Leslie quite often in certain situations and I'll explain when she is a great pick. She is one of the marksmen with the highest basic attack range and you can use this in your advantage to counter the enemy marksman. If the enemy choose a really low basic attack range marksman like Hanaby, Claude, Moskov or Mia, Leslie can easily deal damage without them being able to hit you. It only takes a few hits to make them recall, so you can keep farming and become stronger. She's also fine against other heroes with low range, so if the enemy team has no long range heroes, Leslie is your girl. Then there are also the heroes of your team which can increase the effectiveness of Leslie. I find heroes that can stun or move enemies away from her the best ones to have in your team. Therefore she is a great pick when your team has heroes like Tigrill, Cho, Valor and Akai. Just like Cecilian, Leslie has a hard time against the heroes that come close easily, like Natalia, Helkert, Ling and Fanny. If you choose her in the right situation, the chance of winning late game is very real. The next hero is also one that fulfills this task, but more on a supporting level and is therefore a popular hero. This hero isn't able to deal a big amount of damage, but is a very strong late game hero, and that's Tigrill, and I'll explain why. Tigrill is just one of the strongest tanks because of his powerful CC skills. All his skills have some form of CC and especially his ultimate is one of the most powerful ones in late game. By timing this skill right and use proper positioning, you can catch multiple enemies. The cool thing is that all the heroes get centered, so it's easy for your team to deal damage. Especially area of effect skills are very useful when Tigrill is able to place them close together. Then his second skill can reposition them and knock up afterwards to control them even longer. Those skills are very useful in team fights, which happens the most in late game. A good Tigrill can control the right heroes. Then you only need 1 or 2 heroes that are able to deal a big amount of damage, and winning a team fight is just easy. After killing all or most of the enemies, you can push and destroy the base or take out the lord. Tigrill is just one of the best tanks to have in a team fight and is especially powerful if you manage to catch multiple heroes. There are a few kind of heroes that go very well with Tigrill. One of my favorite combinations is to match up together with Carmilla. Carmilla is able to link enemies with her ultimate, and this is just a lot easier when Tigrill plays multiple enemies together. Also, heroes with strong area of effect damage skills go very well with Tigrill. You can choose him with heroes like Exburg, Alpha, Benedetta, Hanaby and Mia. Because Tigrill can absorb 1 out of 5 basic attack damage with his passive, he is a great pick if the enemy team consists of multiple heroes that rely on basic attack. Choose him against heroes like Beatrix, Leomord, Layla, Zilong and Natalia. The weakness of him are heroes that can reposition enemies. This way they can push Tigrill back when he wants to catch them with his ultimate. Therefore be careful against Moskov, Diggy, Valor and Jawhead. I think Tigrill is a great hero in a lot of situations. He isn't that hard of a hero to play, but it might take time to learn how to position well so you can catch the most enemies. Then he only got 1 hero left on his list. She's a marksman hero that deals a high amount of area of effect damage in late game. This of course is Hanaby. She really is a weak hero in early game and will lose most 1 versus 1 situations. But that's okay, since she's made for team fights. The true power of Hanaby comes from her first skill, which makes her basic attack bounce against surrounding targets. The more enemies are close together, the more damage Hanaby does. So in a team fight she can deal very high damage as long as she doesn't get killed. Positioning and proper protection are essential to her success. Always make sure that you aren't on the front line and preferably have a tank or a fighter in front of you to take the hits. She can be killed in seconds, so make sure you won't be an easy target for an assassin. This hero also has to focus on getting gold and staying safe in early game. But this applies even more to Hanaby than Leslie, since her damage is just quite low. If you manage to farm quickly, you'll dominate in team fights and late game. Picking her in the right situation can help you to reduce the amount of getting killed and increase the kills. Hanaby is a great hero to counter Sun. Her basic attack can hit all doppelgangers, which make her a perfect pick against Sun. It's not that her strength really increases against a certain hero, but it's more which hero your allies choose. Carmilla is a great hero to have in your team, since her ultimate will help to deal huge amount of damage with your basic attack. Also heroes that can center the enemies are perfect for her. So pick her when your team consists of heroes like Tigrill, Ruby, Atlas and Cecilian. When playing Hanaby, it's also important to pay attention to the enemy heroes, so you won't get countered very easily. Since he has no escape skills, very mobile heroes will destroy her. Don't pick her against heroes like Esmeralda, Natalia, Fanny, Ling or Hayabusa. If you play with a team that's able to protect you well, Hanaby is a decent pick to lead you to victory in late game. This was the list of the 5 best late game heroes in Mobile Legends. I really hope this helped you to choose a hero that will make it easier to win late game of a match. If this helped you, leave a like and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to receive more content that helps you to become better in Mobile Legends. As always, thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.